Okay, class. So today we will be going over putting, which is the latter half of the game of golf, which is a fantastic lifetime sport. It is a game that you will see people playing on into the 70s, and it doesn't matter your skill level, anyone can play it and have fun. So today we're specifically going to go into the different types of putters and the different types of grips, form, and then essentially the difference between skill and ability when it comes to putting. So, have you ever played mini golf or golf in general?
Yes.
Okay, great. So she's probably got a decent understanding of golf and putting. Putting is probably the part that gets people the most angry when it comes to golfing because it's just really hard to perfect, and unless you're a pro, you're probably going to struggle a bit. So we are going to go into our dynamic warm-up to start. I will not have you run currently because we have a lack of space right now, so we're just not going to be running. In general, golf is one of the sports where you do not have to put a lot of physical effort into it. So you're not going to be running or have to do a ton of cardiovascular. Typically, there'll be a golf cart. If there's not a golf cart, you can just walk the course. If you're professional, there will be no golf cart. So I will go into the stretching. So we are going to go into stretching our shoulders out. So we'll go forward with our right arm, backward with our right arm, and then with our left arm, let's step back, I got a thing here, so forward, backwards. All right, and we're gonna go both arms forward, both arms backward, touch our back, other arm, okay, then we're going to touch our toes, stretch out our back a little bit. Make sure you really get down there and touch them toes. Alright, good. So, I'm going to go into the different types of putters that we have here today. One of them you will rarely see, to be honest. And I'll go into that one first, actually. So, what I have here is a long shot. Typically, if you really ever see these, it'll be people who have like a lot of money and have enough money to waste on a putter like this, or professionals will occasionally use these. So, with these ones are specifically designed to go the distance of a putting zone. I can't remember what it's exactly called, but you know what I mean. So with this one, you're going to hold the top of it with your non-dominant hand, and then your dominant hand on the bottom, straight up like this. It's going to be touching your sternum, and it's going to give you a little bit of stability so that you can get a little bit more drive on it. So you're going to get your normal stance, your athletic stance. You're going to just go. So, like I said, we're not going to go into this one very in depth. Rarely will you use one, rarely will you see one. Just something to mention, really. So we will go into the different two types of putters that we have here today. So here we have Riley's putter. It is a mallet type, just your regular style putter mallet. It's mallet because it's different on the top like this versus say your blade or your hybrid. So it's all personal preference when it comes to what putter you have. They all typically swing the same. Some people will prefer the mallets. I have a blade, and I'll go down next. So it's going to be your same form, a little bit of a athletic stance, obviously, little bends knees. Legs or feet are going to be positioned just a little inside of shoulder length or at shoulder length. But straight back, knees bent a little bit. Arms are going to be straight. You want to keep them as stiff as possible to keep it straight. And then you're going to keep your eye on the ball the entire time. So here's your putter back, and I will show you the last type of putter we have here, probably the one you've seen the most. So with that being said, this is the blade style putter. It's just your standard putter. This is like what you would see at, say, a mini golf course, or what most people would associate with putting in general. Again, personal preference as to what you have and what you prefer to use. Same stance as what I showed you with the mallet, and I'll break down the stance a bit more front so that you can see. So those are the three different types. Only going to use using putting when you want to obviously score. In general, putting is probably about 25-30% of the game that you're doing, just because it's so difficult to perfect. And then we're going to talk about skill and ability. So skill would be like your traits that you have. Like, say, if I could hit the ball far, hit it long, or stuff like that, or hard. That is going to be what you're going to consider a skill. It's inherited. You can work on it, but it's typically not going to improve a large amount. But we'll go into what putting is typically referred to as and what people typically think of putting as, which is ability. So an ability, unlike a skill, is something that you will not inherit. It's something that you have to learn and work on. So with putting, it's considered something that you would have to learn and work hard on to be good at. So you're essentially going to, with putting, it's more of accuracy rather than driving the distance. Anyone can be good at putting. Not everybody can drive the ball 200 yards or more with a driver or a wedge. So that's the main difference between skill and ability. Is skill, you will inherit it. Ability, you have to work on it. So I will demonstrate the form again, just so you can see it a little bit better, and then I will have Riley go through her form, and then we will get into a game. So legs slightly shoulder width apart, arms out, stiff. You're gonna bend your knees a little bit, straight back, eyes on the ball. I don't have the ball here, but you get the point. And then we will go back, slight lean in your leg, and then through and follow through. You're going to follow through that way to get you more distance without sacrificing accuracy. So, Riley, would you please get into camera angle and show us your form? See, that's good. One thing I noticed is she's probably driving a little bit harder than she should with this. Remember, it's about accuracy, not necessarily getting it down the course. So I'm gonna let her hit a couple balls, and then we will go into the game. And with her hitting the balls, I want her to aim at something. So I have this little, it's a putting tool. You aim at it, and it goes up, and essentially that's how you learn to putt. So I'll put this on the ground, and I will let her hit it a couple times, and then we'll go into our game and instructions. So if you want to head over to that line, I will give her 3 shots to hit this. Actually, I'll demonstrate one first, and then I'll let her go into it. So here's 3 balls, and I will hit 1. I can move this over, because if I hit it like that, it's going to go off. So with this, remember, you're going to focus on accuracy rather than hitting it hard. And that's what's so good about this tool. If you hit it too hard, it's going to fly off. If you hit it not enough, it's going to not go all the way on. Hit it just right, and it will go into the circle and stay there. Probably not going to get a hole-in-one with this. It's a little bit difficult, and it's beginner skill level. So we will go. See? All right. Now Riley's turn. I'll let her give 3 shots, and then we will go on to our game. There you go. One thing I noticed is she's hitting the ball farther back towards her, but the ball's like farther back towards her leg. You want it typically in the middle or slightly closer to that front, so that when you're hitting it, it's coming when you got your most momentum towards it. And you want your body square to where you're aiming. So I'll let her go again. Just a little bit not as accurate, but still a good form. If you want to tilt your body, it's a little bit slightly more this way. That way you'll be aiming straight on. And she shanked it. And that's why it's considered an ability, not a skill. You're never going to be just good at it off of the bat. So now I will explain the game we have for today, and then we will get started with the game. So today, the game I have prepared for us is essentially putt-putt cornhole. It's your standard cornhole game. So you have your rectangular board, your circle in the middle. So I have this marked on the ground here with painter's tape, and we will be playing the game of cornhole essentially. it's on a flat surface, so that way you can actually work on accuracy and not hitting it too hard rather than having to worry about going through divots and everything. So general rules for the game, cornhole. So on the board is 1 point, in the hole is 3 points. If say she scores, gets a 1 on the board, and I get 1 on the board, no points are scored. It cancels out. So whoever gets the most on or most points in that round gets the points. The other person doesn't get any, and they cancel out. So and then we're going to 21. With that being said, it is a little bit different. I will show you the board here in a second. That way you can kind of get a grasp of what we are doing. With that being said, there are 4 balls per round. We will go one after each other. I will let Riley go first today just because ladies first and she is the student. We will go to 21. We'll probably cut it a little short just for this video, just because time constraints and I don't want to have to beat her too bad. So I will show you the board and then we will get started. There's a line back here. The ball stays behind the line when you're hitting. You can be in front of the line when you're standing. The ball's got to be behind the line. And there's more strategy in this because you'll have, say I get my ball on the board or it's in front, she hits my ball and it goes on the board and hers doesn't or something like that, I still get a point. So you got to think about that when you're playing this. So I will show you the board and we will get started. You want to grab your 3 balls there? How many balls do you have on there? Okay, so here is our Scotch tape cornhole board. Back there is the line where we will start. I will keep it at this angle so that you can kind of see who's scoring and what. Remember, inside the hole is 3, on the board is 1, and they cancel out, say, so on and so forth. So we will get started now. Riley, I will let you start. What color do you want to be?
I'll be white.
Okay, and then I will be orange. She will go first. All right, good. There was good accuracy to that. She just hit it a little too hard. Something you'll have to focus on, not hitting it too hard. Just a little too hard there as well. A little too hard as well. There she goes. She is on the board. She is currently at 1 point unless I get on the board or knock hers off or anything. All right, so those points cancel out until end of the round. That was close. Okay, so we both had 2 balls on, nothing in the hole, so that is a cancel out. There are no points in that round. One thing I forgot to mention was the grip, major component. So with this, you have your standard grip is fingers touching and all that, with your thumbs pointed down. Typically, more advanced players will do interlocking fingers. It gives them a little bit more stability. That's what pro players do. It's personal preference again. So with that, you don't want to grip it too hard. You don't want to be straining, but you want to have it just nice and there tight. So we will go on to our second round. Cornhole. You know where your third ball went? I can grab you another. So I will let her go again just because neither of us scored, so neither of us have to change possession. hard there. I noticed you were trying to hit my ball off of there. So you can win. Alright, so I won that round. She had 1 on, I had 3 on, so I won 2-0 that round. So we will say this was our full game and I won 21 to, let's say 19, make it close. So, can you, sorry. So today we went into different type of golf putters, when you would use them, why, and your typical types. We also went into the form and different grips. So, can you get into your form and explain it through to me to your best understanding?
So I put my feet shoulder width apart. I interlock my fingers with my thumbs pointing straight down. And I try to make sure the head is kind of flat. And then I go back a little bit, follow through with my eyes on the ball.
That's good. So she did it entirely right. You want to make sure you're in your athletic position. A little bit knees bent, just to get more of a little bit of a drive on there. So that concludes our lesson for the day. We will go into a different type of golf next class period, which would be driving and hitting with wedges and stuff like that. So great class period.